Hi, everybody, and welcome to Cope with Hope. Today, I have the lovely Sonalee Panda with me and Phoebe, the love of her life. One of the loves of her life, the other one, I don't know where he is. Now, before I speak to her, if you like this video, please press like and do subscribe to my channel and share this with all your friends and all pet lovers. So, Sonali has been a
Yes.
banker for many, many years. And then she got this calling to do something else. So I won't waste any more time. And I'll ask Sonali to tell us what was it that inspired her to change her life and become a professional vagabond, as she calls herself.
Well, thank you, Nandini. Firstly, I mean, it's a great opportunity to be here. I've been watching all the videos, and I was like, oh, when you called me, I was like, okay, lucky me. And yeah, I mean, it's first of all, I want to congratulate you for the platform Cope with Hope, and the way it started and how it's kind of just gathered the momentum and making such a big difference to people. And we've been on a video before, and just wanted to again say thank you. Thanks a lot.
Welcome. Thank you.
And coming to your question, what made me jump out of the corporate life?
Yes.
Um, I didn't know any other life. Like straight out of campus, went straight into work, and I must say now, looking back, that I work consumed me. It was who I was. It was my identity, and I mean, I look back now and I've seen how at that point I really enjoyed it and I loved it. But there was a lot of life which I missed out. Like I would miss out family weddings because I'd be like, oh, I thought that the bank will fall if a small minuscule portion of the bank didn't work. And but at the same time there was a yearning. There was something like saying, okay, is this enough, or am I really happy, or what else? And I'd always think, I remember like when I was like a junior employee, once I get senior, I'll enjoy life more, or I mean,
Yes.
I'll that void, or that something's not correct or something's not fulfilling me is will get fulfilled. And with each progression, you were like, yeah, okay, the excitement would be there for let's say 6 months and all, but again that voice would say, okay, this is not enough, or what next? And it would just not end, and you kept on changing jobs, or I mean not changing jobs, or changing profiles,
Mm.
or growing up the ladder. You got the kicks, but you still were not happy from
Yes.
inside. And it wasn't that I was not enjoying my work. I love my work, and I would say a lot of my friends are thanks to the job. And probably in the initial years we were put in this pressure cooker environment,
Yes.
so the kind of bonds which we formed are phenomenal, and they are still my, I can call them up at 2 a.m. kind of friends. But deep down that was not enough. And um, and I just like kept on thinking, who am I?
Yes.
And that was something which it was very difficult for me to answer. That what, like the question of, it's a profound question, and I don't think I found the answer, but what is the purpose of my life, for example? Those
Yes.
questions would always, like, I wouldn't use the word haunt me, but they would be there. Like, in the
Yes.
end, who am I? Am I really who I am, or am I being true to myself?
Yes.
So, and that was like just something which kind of kept on happening. And I was very lucky that life came to a particular point where I could really, and I must say that I'm very grateful, because I could say that yes, I have tried everything in the corporate life, and I've enjoyed it, and I've seen the success. And that side of me, or that part of my ego, is saying, yeah, okay, you've done this, so now let's figure out the other part.
Yes.
And what I would say, what really gave me the yearning to say who am I, or what is my truth, is what really made me say, let's go and try what's happening out there, or see life outside of the corporate world.
Okay, so it was
And
a series of series of feeling part of you unfulfilled. Is there any like major thing that happened that you said, okay, fine, now this is it?
So yes, I mean, and in any corporate life, there are compromises you make.
Yes.
I think I just kept. As I'm talking to, I'm feeding these two because they're. This one is coming in the middle and saying, "I want to be part of the video." So,
Cutie.
so there was a part, in corporate life, there are times when you have to compromise your ideals and all. And I
Yes.
think there was this point where I just said enough. I can't this. And also, I mean, something very personal was that I was becoming two different people. So at work, I was someone, and outside of it, I was someone else. And that caused a lot of stress inside me, a lot of distress is probably the other word, because I knew that it's almost like Jekyll and Hyde kind of two personalities.
Yeah.
So, and I did it to myself. It's not like the world or the circumstance. It's just that how I coped with getting the work done, and that's how I balanced going
Home life.
outside into. Yeah. So if you saw me in those two settings, it would have been very difficult for you at that point of time to say that this is the same person, and that that became like a pressure cooker. And then came a point when I said, I don't need to. I really need to now find out who I am, and there is no more compromises for that now.
Okay, that's great. So you reached this pressure point and you felt that's it. Now the cooker is just, giving off a lot of those whistles. And now it's time for me to find out, at least to start this journey. Who am I and what is my purpose? And you say that I love that. Like you aspire to spread as much kindness as you can in this world. And that is an amazing thing, Sonalee. So,
Yeah.
how do you do it? How do you spread kindness in the world?
So I think one of the, I'll just say that what I did go through when I left the corporate world, it wasn't easy. It was a journey where at first I filled my life with travel.
Yeah.
You still needed an identity for the outside world.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? So I became this, oh, look at her. Or I mean, in my mind again, you want that. What is the tagline which people think about you? And it was that, look at her, she's traveling.
Yeah.
She's seeing the world. And that's why I did like a mad person for like 2 years. And then suddenly what happened is, I mean, yes, travel is beautiful and you see different things, you meet different people, new experiences, but there is also a sameness to it.
Yes.
And then it was like, in a weird way, it became routine.
Yeah.
And that's when, again, I pulled back. And then there was this moment in time when I really was like, okay, when somebody meets me, who am I? What am I going to answer to them? And that was very tough because suddenly you're not like this hot shot in a corporate world. I can't like hold a crowd of a room and say, these were my travel experiences. So suddenly that all thing just went, and I really struggled. I was like, who am I? And it's really, and I think also probably because, from the background and from the education and 20 years of banking, you're always on there has to be a quantifiable answer.
Yeah.
And that part, at that point, it was difficult. And I would fear that I would get depressed, that I'll be alone, and that loneliness will cause depression. The other part was that why would someone want to interact with me? Why would someone be interested in talking to me? So all these kind of stupid things. This also taught me, firstly, that, people look at you the way, from obviously their lens, but people are not looking at you in the way you want, your fears or your inhibitions are there. They're looking at probably they're looking at the best. And I really do believe that most of us look at the best of that person. And that's what I really tell a lot of my friends who tell me that, this part of my body is not right. And I say, don't you realize that everyone is focusing on that one part of you, which is actually your best asset? And it's like that in your personality. So when with kindness, I would say it's again to create this place where you're more accepting, and you're more you're able to you know, take the person as a whole, like let them feel that
Accepted.
they are accepted and they're
Yeah.
special and they're precious.
Yes.
And that's which is, you know, something which I, you know, and it's a journey. It's not like you have the mantra and you've just cracked it or something.
Yeah.
And Reiki, I have been learning Reiki, and I think that really helps me discover. You know, people used to say your heart, think from your heart, speak from your heart, um, communicate from your heart, look at the world from your heart, and I'd always be like, what? What do you mean by heart? And you know, there would be some people who would be like I generally would be like, I can't do this, you know, I love, and you know, I can't, it's just not it, I can't get it. And now I see that with and I think with Reiki, which is ultimately the ultimate, but it's about sharing love. It's about saying
Yes.
you and I same, and you
That
and I
is
are
really
equal.
ultimately the ultimate. Love.
Yeah.
It is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really opened up parts of me, which even I, like, sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, is that you? So
Yeah.
I kind of keep surprising myself. um, and that Reiki, I do aspire to be kind of to share Reiki with people. I've had like so my father, who was a very type A personality, mathematics, analytics, and so I just recently asked him, can I share Reiki with you? And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to hear, like, you know, what is this? Explain it. How does it work? And, you know, and there is no, I can't give you in a formula what exactly I'm going to do. But
Yeah.
surprise, he's been very open. And like when I say, hey, it's time for Reiki, before I finish the sentence, he's ready. And he's like, okay, and bring it on. So that's
Okay.
really been
That's good.
it's special. And then I have my two pets who I
Yes.
am constantly
So
give the
tell us a
minute
little
one.
bit about your pets.
So they're like, I mean, I would call myself like, I probably would love to spend 100% of my day only with these two. So this is Bruce, who's suddenly becoming antisocial. See,
Oh,
so
hi, Bruce.
he's my firstborn. So
Okay.
he is 13 years old. We named him Bruce Willis because when we got him, we never had heard about Yorkshire Terrier as a breed,
Yeah.
and we did again. We figured out that Bruce Willis owns one, so we said he needs all
Okay.
the attitude, guys. And true to which, he's a alpha male. And then this is Pee. This is she is about a year younger, so 12 years old.
Yes.
Camera shy, the camera actually.
Yeah.
So they both have been great teachers to me in their own way.
Yes.
And so I do aspire to be able to heal, send healing, share healing with animals.
Oh,
So
lovely. So,
which I do.
message here if you want healing for your animals. Lovely. That's so nice. And tell me about Galaxshe. I mean, I'm hoping to do a session with you and the founders of the other founders of Galaxshe. I know a little bit
Yeah.
more about it, but could you tell me very, very briefly what it is?
Sure. So it's a platform, an online platform, where the aspiration or the intention is to allow women to interact with women across all walks of life and all, all age and, everything, and just kind of put your question. It's like a Q&A format and
Yes.
blog format. What we're hoping is that, there will be a lot of senior women from across various industries, and the younger women can actually, reach out to them with their doubts, whether it be career or certain professional ideas, or even parenting, or relationships. I don't know how the older women will help the younger women with relationship advice, but so it's basically a place where you can ask questions, predominantly women centric.
Okay.
And being a women only platform, we hope that it's a space which is a safe space and a very allowing space where people are free to be who they are.
Okay,
and share
lovely.
also. It's, there will be various channels where people can put up their content.
Oh, that's superb, and we'll get more into detail with this, and you must watch that video as well. And before we end, a couple of questions. What is hope for you?
Okay, so hope is I mean, actually brings a smile to my face when I say the word hope, because I think without hope there is no hope. I mean, I always want to see the brightest aspect of anything. That's for me is like, whenever I see anyone fighting, or even when I get irritated, I'm like, wait, what is the bright side of this? And that bright side is my hope.
Oh, wow. That's so well put. And what would you say is Sonalee's mantra for life?
But look at the bright side always.
Okay.
Count your blessings, definitely.
Count your blessings and look at the bright side. So in 2020, how did you look at the bright side?
Wow. So 2020 it was quite a year. In fact, initial part, it was I was alone with my 2 dogs. My husband was also traveling, so it really helped me. And I tell people that my friends, that how it helped me really cross a few of my biggest life stumbling fears which I had. And weirdly, I've always had this fear of being alone. Like I mean, something that if something happens in the night, or if there's an emergency, or it's just I can't explain it, but the fear of being alone. And here for 3 months we were alone, because there were no house help coming in, and it was that initial, everybody was paranoid and all that. And it gave me a lot of strength, or belief in my own strength. And actually that fear has gone, and that has opened up I think a lot of life decisions you take, or I took, was with the fear of being alone. That I should not be alone. And suddenly that fear has gone, and that's opened up a lot. The other one was fear of financial security. And I guess these are generational, or, they just kind of in from the time you're a child, you're told to save money, whatever. So that again, suddenly I saw really how little we actually needed, or we do need, and that again kind of helped me get rid of a lot of my worries, which I would sit with. And the third one was just that I am absolutely fine on my own. Like, I didn't go crazy. I didn't get into depression. I didn't do, and channelized, and was able to channelize that energy into the chanting group, which you actually had covered. And that was more about saying not just me, but praying for everyone's benefit,
for the world. So she used to chant, and I joined that group as well, every single day. So that was beautiful, and I think that they still chant, and I'm going to join that group again. That's lovely, Sonalee. So thank you so much for coming on, and I hope to interview you soon for Galaxshe, because I do want to know more about it. And before we go off, would you like to say anything to the audience? Anything that you feel is left for you to say?
I know it's cliched, but don't be scared.
Yes, don't be scared. Lovely. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.